Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. A lot of great friends here. Exciting show, I think. First off, just want to say, us pushed out free will. It's going to be a little, I think it's ultimately going to be where y'all want me to get, but some of you are going to get a little ruffled at parts. I don't know, like Anya's and I did a show on us pushed out, and she's definitely one of the big proponents, and everything is you pushed out, and I love Anya's. And in our show, we actually talked about a lot of my thoughts around it, and she was pretty much in agreement. I mean, there was no place where she really disagreed. So I don't think I'm going to be stepping too outside the reservation, but I think one of the problems that really has existed with this whole us pushed out movement or phenomenon is that it's confusing. I think in some cases it's very true. It's completely accurate. You're like, you nailed it, 100%. And then I think there's times where it's probably just maybe not quite there, but it's not doing any harm. And then I think there's literally times where people are very confused about us pushed out and what that actually means. For example, I don't know, maybe your specific person punches babies, kicks puppies, right? Horrible thing, right? And so they're acting this way, and you're like, what is going on with myself that's causing him to do that? Those cases, no, that's not you pushed out. That's someone that punches babies and kicks puppies. They're just a disturbed individual. Now, we can attract individuals like that, and we'll cover that probably more, I hope. But that's kind of a different thing. Now, us pushed out in that standpoint, not understanding that I've attracted this to me, so even playing on words a little bit, that still kind of works as us pushed out. And Anya's, again, we've talked about these exact same concepts. I know a lot of people, it's funny, just doing a little research for this show, just mainly trying to put the thumbnail together, to be honest. I noticed a lot of people out there. Joseph Eli, I think, is one of the really common ones that people talk about frequently. He did a video on this as well. Actually, the Aaron Doty even did a video on this. So it's like, dude, that guy's got like a million subs or something. He's giant. He's like the monster. He's like the monster gorilla in the room that no one wants to talk about, but is doing very well for himself. So good for him, by the way. That's fantabulous. But us pushed out is a very cool concept. But I, to my understanding, I've been doing a lot of meditation on this. I've been messing with this and manifesting specific people into my life. And nothing like I've got a girlfriend. So again, I'm just trying to do it within the confines of what I'm allowed to do, right? But trying to manifest visibility of someone that you never see, or trying to alter a relationship with a friend in a way that's, it's okay still, but nonetheless, it's still a little bit different. It's interesting how these things work out, and I've been playing with this a lot. And so there is the concept of free will. There's been plenty of people that in the past have gotten grumpy with me and like, dude, but if everyone's got free will, then they can choose to say no. And it's like, they can. But I think I finally understand it to a place where it makes more sense, and I think it works for the people that freaks out. Like people out there, there's some out there that are like the idea that someone could actually say no to them. That's like, I don't want to do manifesting if that's the case. I want them to definitely do this. Now, one thing, just right off the bat, anybody out there who's trying to force something, if you're trying to make something happen, if you're trying to cause someone to change, something outside of yourself, if you're trying to alter something outside of yourself using law of attraction, you're going about it incorrectly. It's not how you change things outside of yourself. That's already after the effect. You've already attracted it. What you were doing 5 minutes ago is what created your right now that you're currently trying to change. Now, maybe your right now started a year ago. Well, then what you were doing a year ago is what caused that situation. And so there's a lot of people that try to get into this habit of you attract something into your life. Maybe you've shifted your consciousness. You've altered. Again, Goddard talks about it frequently, how everything is consciousness. I mean, a lot of people say it. Einstein's got a famous quote. Tesla. A whole bunch of people have all these different quotes. We're all energy, blah, 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 right? So we have this certain frequency that we're manifesting at. The way we see things, how we believe things, how we think people are relative to us. Like, do we treat people poorly? Do we treat them good, right? Everyone's different walks, right? Some people walk into grocery stores and expect people snap, snap, pop, pop, right? And they've got this attitude, and then they wonder why nobody likes them. It's like, well, you're very unlikable. That's why. I mean, you're a beautiful soul, and I see that when I talk to you, but I've watched you behave with other people, and you're mean, right? So that's why you're having the issues. So again, us pushed out, yeah, you're projecting out this kind of nightmarish version of yourself, and so you attract back people that want a nightmarish version of themselves, shown. So I got a couple examples. One, say you're in a situation where you're into dominating. We're going to use kind of the bad side of this just to make it easy, but you're into dominating. You want to dominate. You want to be in charge. You want to be able to tell someone. You want to be in charge of them. You want ownership. It's kind of a guy thing more, but I think for ladies, right, you've been on the other side of that maybe with a guy that's like just totally empowers, wants to own you, wondering where you are at all times of the day. What'll happen for that guy in that energy space, one, he's probably going to attract a number of very aggressive, and he's probably constantly playing sports and being challenged like that, having dudes call him names and stuff, right? He's just got that built into his life. But he's also got relationships in his life with ladies that have maybe low self-esteem, maybe have some issues within themselves, and so become very attracted to this man of power. And this man of power is able to control them. And they allow it for a period of time. But at some point, most people that go through that level of abuse or that level of control, at some point reach a place where they go, I don't like this. I am my own being. I'm my own person. I want to change that. So at that point, that individual, that person that's been abused finally says, no, consciousness shift. That's a consciousness shift. That's what they did. It's exactly what they did. They finally said, I love myself enough, and shifted their consciousness and said, dude, we're done. And they go their merry way. And they realize they're worth more than that. They manifest maybe a happier relationship. Now, here's the thing. What if you're that guy and you want to manifest them back? What if that's you? Right? And I'm using the extreme because I'm hoping none of my audience is this bad, right? But here's the extreme, right? So I'm an abusive guy. Bless, release, and erase. I'm an abusive guy, but I can control that, I'm pretty sure. But right, I'm this fictional situation. This abusive guy had a breakup happen. Can't believe that this person has actually defied them. Maybe angry, maybe mad, maybe even threatened to hurt themselves. Right? Any number of crazy things will play out. We've all been there. I've been with crazy people like this. They're pretty awesome too. There's some great aspects to them, but at the same time, they make up for it in a long-standing kind of way. For the short-term yays that you have, their long-term is not good. So that individual tries to get you back. Should they be able to, if that's you? If you're the one that's changed your consciousness, realized you're better than that? No, they shouldn't. Free will. Now, here's the thing that's cool about all of this. Anyone close, and you maybe have to take my word on this. A lot of you know this already. Some of you maybe don't, but we're in a very cool place where we have relationships with our soul family. There's a number of souls. It could be 50, could be 20. It's funny as I've started to realize that I see people that look similar to other people, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's the actual same soul as that other person, just a different version of them, right? So I don't know. I'm still tripping on some of that. But that being said, we've got our core soul family, people we've loved, people close to us, people that are family, people we bump into, our best friends, like the people that we have wanted, certainly specific people for sure. People we've wanted are part of our soul group, for sure. You don't just have random relationships with random strangers in the universe. You plan on it. I mean, yeah, you bump into random strangers and you make new friends probably along the way, but very rare to have a deep level because you don't need to or want to. And you've got a rather large soul family. Like, again, it could be 50 people. And so you've got your family, and there's 5 of them. There's 45 other people that want to meet you and you want to meet in your life that will, throughout your lifetime, pop in and out. These people are your friends. These people are your family. If you're vibrating in a crappy way, abusive guy, tow truck driver, as I've joked about, right? If that's you, then they're going to choose not to have you back until you learn. They love you. They love you from a spiritual level. They love you in heaven just as much as you love them. But you're energetically inappropriate right now for where they're at in their lives and where they want to be. And they don't want to digress necessarily to your level, or in some cases would require you to digress to them. And you're not willing to do that. In either case, that's okay. 1, the love still exists always. 2, from a free will standpoint, that individual can alter themselves in their own way. You can't make them, but the fact that you've separated from them and you've changed your consciousness causes them to want to change theirs as well, assuming you've gone up. And if it's the other way around, if you're the abuser and they've gotten their consciousness up and they realize, I don't want to be with you anymore, bye, toodles. From a soul level, I still love you, and we had a great relationship, and yeah, you abused me. It's all right. From a spiritual level, I've known you for a million years. Thank you for you being the one that was actually doing that, right? Like, I wouldn't let anyone else. But from a standpoint of a relationship, it sucks, right? From a here on earth, and you got to learn to love yourself more, to not allow people to treat you poorly, not give you calls, not text you back, not hang out with you, not tell their family about you, whatever, right? Like, they should be able to do that. If they can't, there's something that needs to change. One of you has shifted up and one of you is down. The down person needs to shift up, period. And until they do, the person that's already upper should stay away from them, period. You want to change something, you change your consciousness inside to get to that level. If you've changed your consciousness and caused a shift that's happened in your life, and you've noticed there's someone that doesn't get these things, that isn't doing right, that's okay. And you can keep loving them. And yes, they can change. And yes, they can choose you. But no, you should not change down to them. It's a stair-step process, and we're helping them up. It's kind of like a slinky, except the opposite direction. So one of us manages to climb up the cliff, and then we put our arm down to help our fellow soulmates climb up with us. That's how these relationships work. So do they have free will? Yes. Do they want to be with you too? Yes. Do we need to change? Yes. If we've shifted above, you just kind of need to accept you're one of the leaders, and that's a responsibility thing. Again, I'm trying to do a video for all walks of life, right? So if you are one of the cutting edge people, and I could think of a bunch of you out there right now that definitely fall into that category. I don't want to give names because if I forget anyone, right? How upsetting would that be? There's a bunch of us that are on the cutting edge. If you've stepped up a level, you just need to love so much and keep being the example and be wonderful. And you will find that they will come back. They will circle back around and just let it happen. Understand it's an energetic thing. They have free will to get there when they want, but the longer you can stay in that place and make it look safe, the quicker they're going to come. And if it's the other way around, the longer that they stay in that place, and we're wallowing over here trying to figure it out. And that's usually how it manifests in our lives. We're like, well, nothing's wrong with me. It's all them. It's like, no, it's you. I've watched you. Like, I love you as a person. You're my best friend. And then I've watched you interact with other people and you treat people poorly. Yeah, but that's so, they did this and they did, no, whoa. It doesn't matter. Everything's a reflection. You're saying I'm doing this because, and that's what justifies your behavior. But the because is because of what you've created. So you can't go around and say, I'm going to be a jerk because everything I've created is jerky, unless you like that. So if there's something different, stop being that thing that you keep doing. It kind of likens to, I think, and this is an example I'm going to give, and hopefully some of you guys have had cats or dogs, or both, or at least experienced them. I love animals, love all animals, all animals. Dogs are awesome. And I'm not trying to say they're better than cats. Don't get me wrong. They're very different creatures. That's my point. But a dog is kind of like that relationship early on with us when we attracted them right to us initially, right? One of us, both of us were in the same place, and we were happy to be in the same place, energetically, consciously. It's like a dog. And that dog just loves you no matter what. That dog just wants to hang out with you. The dog just wants to be fed. And God, if you can throw some affection and love on that dog, oh, we are in hog heaven. That dog will follow you wherever you go for all your days. And it's great. But eventually, and oftentimes, we run into a cat. We run into a cat that we love. It's an adorable cat. It's very cute. It's very cute and cuddly, sort of, when it wants. But you walk up to that cat and you go to pet it. And the cat's cool. It's like, whee, does its little back thing, puts its back up, right, and sticks its tail straight in the air, and you just do your little pet thing on it. And you do that about 3-4 times. And the second you do the fifth one, they freaking attack you because somehow you've crossed the line. Or somehow they want to play, and their way of causing play is to annihilate, skin. I don't know. I don't really understand cats. I don't like the idea of having an animal poo inside, frankly, either. Unless it can use the toilet. Then that's okay. I can flush. I'm fine with that. But use the toilet. I'm cool with it. But otherwise, no. That's disgusting. Do that outside, please. That being said, you don't manifest a different cat. You don't manifest changing the cat. The cat is a cat. That's how cats are. That's what cats are. You get little thingies. You play with them differently than you do dogs. They're just different creatures. They're lovely. They're wonderful. I've definitely experienced a cat that was the most affectionate. It'd like come up and give me those little nose kisses. Like anyone that's had cats is like, oh, right? Like that's the best. You get that nose kiss. It was like, oh my God, this thing freaking loves me. That is so cool. Like they're amazing creatures. But I've also met many of them that I had a challenge with learning how to interact. But I learned. And so it wasn't an issue of changing the cat. It was an issue of me changing my understanding of how to interact with this being. And so your specific person, your boss, your whatever that's standing between you and happiness is the same situation. They've got free will to choose where they're at energetically. That's okay. We're in this life for the long haul, and we definitely love each other. And so long as our energetics are kind of messed up, so long as we keep vibrating inappropriately, so long as we keep pushing out, projecting out crap, that's what we're going to get back until we're ready to change that. The last example I'm going to give. You wake up in the morning, maybe it's one of those days, right? You go to try to put your pants on and you're trying to get that second leg in there and it just doesn't quite work and you fall or you catch yourself or your mom's yelling at you on the way out the door or the dog like pooed on the rug and you're like, oh, I don't want to deal with that right now, but definitely that's waiting for me when I get home, right? Like whatever the case is. And you go down to the coffee shop and you've just had a tough day. And maybe the barista, working behind the counter, maybe he's looking at his phone. Maybe he's thinking of something, but whatever. He happens to have a strange look on his face. And you look at him and you go, oh man, you having a tough day? And he's like, no. I was just thinking about something. I was trying to figure out a Sudoku. I was doing a crossword puzzle. A text from a friend. It was something strange. I was trying to figure it out. No, day's going great. How's yours? We saw a bad day on his face. And in fact, he just maybe happened to make a weird smirk the second we walked in the door. Not knowing consciously. Higher self's like, smirk time, right? And it just popped up, and that was the point where you happened to get to the part of the text message that was strange. And you're like, like you pushed up your eyebrow or whatever. And you didn't know the dude just walked in. You're not paying attention. You're paying attention to something else. So you did it for them. No one else would know this. No other person in that coffee store notices that your eyebrow just went up. But the dude that just walked in having a tough morning because he fell on his face, missing his pants. He sees a grumpy person. He sees someone that's not okay. It's him pushed out. He's projected out. Doesn't mean his friend's having a bad day, and he is too, and he's created all these people having bad days. No, he's just experiencing what he expects to see. And the same conversely can be true as well. You can be having a wonderful day, but maybe you notice one of your friends is interacting with you in a way that's grumpy. Maybe they're just snapping on people. Maybe you're like, and you're like, whoa, what's up, man? Are you having an okay day? You need to talk? You all right? What's going on? It's not you pushed out. You're not having the bad day. You are actually here to help your soulmate, your friend, your buddy, through their bad day, to help give them contrast, to help be a part of their transition, to help be a part of their change, to help pull them up the cliff with you. We're in this together with a bunch of souls that we really, really care about. And these souls are individual souls that we love very dearly as their own individual souls. And I think we probably create our fair share of literal projections, probably in weird ways, but I'm sure there's some out there. I mean, I've been really spending time with it. It's a fun topic. But ultimately, the ones we care about, that specific person, do they have free will to stay away from me? Yeah, but are you going to allow that? Are you guys going to definitely energetically stay away from each other for that long if it's really love? If you're the one that stepped up, trust me, they're going to come to you. Don't step down. Wait for them to catch up. You can't force it. You can't make them do it. You can't make them go any faster. The only thing you can do is be an awesome example and help them up when they're finally ready to get there. If you're the one that's down energetically, you need to step up, period. You need to figure out what's going on. You need to figure out how to change it, but it's all inside of you. And when you finally shift your consciousness, they're going to want to be with you. Again, they love you already. Maybe right now you're not very lovable because you're grumpy, or you lash out, or you say mean things, or you said I had a small man part and it just still hurt my feelings or whatever. I'm just trying to make up stuff. But I know women like to say really mean things sometimes, and it's like, wow, that was mean. Like, you'll hurt a person on a soul level sometimes, and that's not okay. Like, us guys are stupid. We do plenty of dumb things. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's just being mean. Ouch. Anyway, just saying. So these are things that we sometimes do. If your energy's down low, you need to step it up. If your energy's up high, you need to hang tight. They'll catch up. Your soulmate wants to be with you. They're not going to choose to be with you, free will, until they're ready or until the energy's ready and balanced in the way it should be. And love yourself enough to stay up on that higher level, and love yourself more to get up to a higher level. Wherever you fall into that spectrum, just love yourself, keep loving yourself, and you'll get to where you're trying to go. Hopefully that makes a difference. And I'm just going to say Dan RadioStyle, because I'm probably going to make a separate video of this version, but I think we're ready to take some questions.